Hello there everyone, this is a very quick video. I had to make this to update you all because this is probably going to affect people's purchasing decisions during this format as well as your testing for OP03 if you are looking that far ahead. I know OP02 just dropped, but this is huge news. OP03 has been out in Japan for about a month and we have just received our first ban list in the One Piece card game today, right now, about 4 minutes ago, as of the time of recording. Let's have a look. Notice of additional banned/restricted cards. So, this is effective from Saturday, the 1st of April, so JP players and, of course, Asian region, Japanese format players, you've got a couple more weeks. Moby Dick has been banned. This is insane. So, let's see the reasoning here. When combining the leader Edward Newgate with this card, it was easy to achieve the condition, my life more or less, and the impact of this disadvantage was smaller than expected. In addition, because it's a stage card, it's difficult to deal with, unless you're black, and the speed at which the game ends when the conditions are met is greatly increased. But so far this is kind of, that's set 2 stuff. In addition, with the addition of Izo in set 3, it was possible to reproduce the situation with such a high probability. Based on the above, we have judged that the card has a very high usage rate and win rate in tournaments, and that it is a card that significantly deprives one of the fun of the One Piece card game that tackles offense defense, so this card has been banned. Now, do I agree with this initially? There's another card that's been banned, which we'll come to in a second. I get it. I think in OP02, Whitebeard is like this really fun, quite powerful, little janky, little inconsistent deck. The problem is, of course, with Izo, because Izo does search that Moby Dick. Whereas before, you were still going through, a good, 20 cards, factoring in your life and everything, and, 15 to 20 cards of your deck, factoring your knife and draws and everything. So you were seeing enough cards where, you should be seeing Moby Dick. That was never a guarantee. With Izo, you're getting that top 5 check. It suddenly becomes pretty much a foregone conclusion that you are going to see it. And if you've been following the JP events, Whitebeard has been everywhere. It's literally been a contest to figure out what can actually consistently beat Whitebeard, which is why which is why Black has been quite popular. Lucci having an inbuilt counter. We've seen Nami being quite good because it's quite, its game plan is kind of different. It has ways to just bot deck the Marcos and stuff, so that's good. But overall, the deck was just very good. Is this nerf too heavy-handed? I don't really know. We're going to have to see how powerful Whitebeard is after this, and of course how powerful Ace is after this as well. Because it is entirely possible that this is exactly what the format needed. From what I've been seeing of JP, Whitebeard has truly been everywhere. So we're going to have to wait to find out. But that's not the only card that was banned. We also have Kabaji that has been banned. So when this is combined with OP03 Nami, it greatly promotes a play aiming at winning the game by ignoring the offensive and defensive tactics with the opponent without attack on you. Basically, you're just playing your own thing. You're playing solitaire. You don't care what your opponent's doing. In addition, due to the relationship between the number of cards drawn and the number of cards discarded, this card draws 2 and discards 2. It's essentially it's milling through the deck very quickly. And then you combine it with OP01 Excess Whiplash and OP03 Ceph, and the deck can be used more efficiently than expected. So essentially, this is not how the testing team expected people to use Nami. They didn't expect this event build, which is what ended up resulting. So it ended up being very consistent. And there are other card combinations that still make Nami decent, but they didn't want this one, so it has been banned. I definitely think this is a bit of a nerf to Nami, a bit of a hefty nerf to Nami. I don't know if you can still if it's still that viable to do the event build. It probably still is. There's still alternatives to playing the Moji Kabaji engine. There's 8 cards that have gone out of your deck now that you can figure out alternatives to put in that ideally will also not let your opponent interact. It's going to be the same thing. But this definitely seems like a less significant nerf for Nami than Moby Dick is for Whitebeard and Ace. This is pretty wild. Should we care about this in English? I've immediately been seeing people saying, well, it's not in English yet. Of course it's not in English yet, but do not be surprised for this ban list to drop the same day set 3 does in English. So we are probably never going to experience Moby Dick Whitebeard at full power as OP03 because, from what I remember in Digimon, back when they had this ban list in JP during set 4 or something, they just dropped it for us as soon as the set came out in English, so I would be very surprised if they didn't do that here. Additionally, if they find that any other nerfs are needed to the OP3 cards, then they'll probably drop all those at once as well. In terms of purchasing decisions, I feel really bad for anyone who's been picking up those pre-release Moby Dicks. I think they were quite expensive. Anyone who's been picking up alt arts for Whitebeard, oh my god, those are about to crash, dude. That is unfortunate. I feel bad for you, but it is what it is. if you are interested in keeping on top of all these kind of news and announcements, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. As you can see, I post this shit ASAP, minimal editing, because, you know, we're low effort like that. And follow me on Twitter for the fastest things, and obviously, of course, join my Discord server and stuff like that. That's it for watching. By the way, if you're interested in competitive content, which, by the way, we'll be able to take into account this nerfed Moby Dick, so check out my Patreon link in the description. That's it for the shelling. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.